Yo, what's poppin' everybody? It's a Saberbolt54. Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate that. In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about the best Pokemon you want to use if you want to succeed in getting all of the gold symbols in Pokemon Emerald. If you guys don't know, I recently got my 6th gold symbol in the Battle Frontier in Emerald against Salon Maiden Annabelle in the Battle Tower. It took a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of L's, but I finally did it. I was very happy, and I made a different guide video in the past about the Pokemon, the Battle Frontier in Emerald, but it's a more general guide. I'll have the card in the video either way. I do recommend you watch that first, but if you just want the best Pokemon, then this is going to be the video for you. I talk a little bit about the general stuff in the other video, and I do mention a few Pokemon, but this is going to be more in depth about the best Pokemon you want to use. Like I mentioned in the other video, for the Battle Frontier and Emerald and even Platinum, you need to sort of get out of the idea that it's like the misconception, I guess, that it's a different dynamic from like Smogon singles 6 versus 6. There's a lot of differences when it comes to the Pokemon you want to use and the dynamics, I guess, in the fights. But anyway, well, I'm right here on Smogon because a lot of the Pokemon are gonna be from the OU, I guess, tier. So we're gonna start with the one and only starter that I would recommend, and maybe I'll give an honorable mention at the end. But the best starter and the only one I truly recommend is Swampert when it comes from the starters. Now, this Pokemon is fantastic and it won me basically all of my gold symbols. It's been in my team getting me all the gold symbols bar the Battle Tower one, which I had to swap for Metagross, but I'll talk about that later. Uh, Swampert is fantastic because it's the strongest water ground type Pokemon up to this point, like in the 3rd gen. You get the option for Quagsire, you get Whiscash too, and I think that's it. And um, Quagsire does have a few tricks it can do, but essentially Swampert is the superior one, bar the water absorbability. But the point of this guy is that he only has one weakness, quadruple weakness to grass. And for the most part, if you watch my previous guide, I am against using a Pokemon with times 4 weaknesses in the Battle Frontier, but there are a few exceptions, and Swampert is one of them. The reason for this is that being 4 times weak to grass isn't the same as being 4 times weak to other types. The strongest general grass move that a non-grass Pokemon could possibly use, like a Tentacool using Giga Drain or something, is that move, Giga Drain. It's a weak attack. Some random Pokemon that aren't grass can learn it and they could surprise Swampert, but because it's such a weak attack, only 60 base damage, and because Swampert, if you're going to use it, you usually are going to EV train it in HP, and if it's not going to be special defense and defense, at least a lot of HP. So it will be able to take one, and then you can hit with Ice Beam or just get an attack. And this is important. And besides the grass weakness, and the grass Pokemon in 3rd gen that could trouble you, it's just a very great Pokemon. It's gonna basically resist a lot of strong attacks from a lot of Pokemon. You can do the Protect combo that I did a lot in the Battle Frontier, get a little bit of healing with leftovers, and then you get some extra healing essentially, and you train this guy to be able to take at least 2 big hits from strong Pokemon, and being able to hit back with Earthquake, Protect, and use Earthquake again. He's going to put in the work. It's just very reliable. The coverage between Earthquake, Ice Beam, and Surf, and you can even throw Rock Slide if you don't want to do Protect or something. It's just fantastic, and it's just a very great Pokemon. Highly recommended. The only problems with Swampert, besides the grass weakness, is that he is going to be sort of set up bait against some Pokemon, like water Pokemon that use Calm Mind, or Gyarados with Dragon Dance. That can be troublesome if you don't have Rock Slide. But it's just an excellent Pokemon, and the reason you should strongly consider it too, especially for the Battle Pyramid, It's because it's essentially the best Pokemon for Battle Pyramid. In both fights against Pyramid King Brandon, against the Regis, he's great on his own. Uh, the fight against the Regis is sort of 50-50 if you have Rock Slide. Regis can hit you with Ice Beam, but against Regirock, you get the advantage. Against Registeel, you get the advantage. Against the Legendary Birds, once again, Zapdos can hurt you, Moltres can hurt you. You can hit them with Rock Slide or Ice Beam against Zapdos. And then Articuno, it can hit you with Ice Stab, but you can retaliate with Rock Slide. So, just a very good Pokemon. Highly recommend for sure. When it comes to training it for EVs, I recommend it's gonna need HP to make best use of your leftovers, but you might want to have like a Brave ability or something that's gonna give you attack, so you get that bonus 110 base attack. Improve it as much as you can, and then the moves I already mentioned, the best moves: Earthquake, Ice Beam, Surf, Rock Slide, Protect. You get that sort of coverage. There's other things Swampert can do, like use Curse and stuff like that, but that's just more advanced. I think the moves here are the best for a general use for this guy in the Battle Frontier. Okay, next up we're gonna go up, 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 and we're gonna find, where are you? Metagross. Okay, so Metagross is a Pokemon that, man, it cost me so much because of Meteor Mash. Essentially, if you're gonna run this guy, then you want to have Meteor Mash. If you don't, then you come up with problems when you want that strong stab attack. It just puts in work. But I can't tell you how many times I missed. Sometimes I missed 2 times in a row in the Battle Tower, and then it cost me. But in the end, this guy won me my gold symbol, and it's just an amazing Pokemon. It's one of those pseudo legends, 600 stat total, great attack, great defense, special defense with HP too. It's gonna be able to take hits. That's the point. You can also tank with leftovers. He has good enough HP so you can take advantage of that, and he'll be able to take a hit. Essentially, he doesn't have many weaknesses Pokemon are going to be able to take advantage of. Only weak to fire and ground. Even the strongest ground type Pokemon, if they hit you with Earthquake, there's a good chance you're going to survive if you're trained up defensively. And anything else that doesn't get stabbed from Earthquake is very unlikely they're going to kill you in one shot, unless they get a critical hit. So it means that you can take at least one hit and then hit back. And if you were faster, you get 2 hits in return. That's the point. Steel type Pokemon, lots of resistances. Like, there's some Pokemon that you'll be able to switch into Metagross and then they won't be able to touch you. Like, there's a Blissey that is, I don't want to say common, but it does pop up in the Battle Frontier that has Toxic and Double Team and all those moves, and it won't be able to hurt Metagross, for example. And Skarmory and other Pokemon like that that do stuff like that, they can't hurt Metagross. So it's quite good. Now, to be honest, when it comes to moves, the only one that is basically 100% is Earthquake, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't blame people if they wanted to drop Meteor Mash. It's just, you're cursed if you drop it, you're cursed if you don't. But everything else besides Earthquake is just fair game. The one that I used, one of the ones that I used, my second one for the Battle Frontier in the Battle Tower, I had Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, Shadow Ball, and Meteor Mash. You get some decent coverage with those moves. Shadow Ball is good. Of course, I have it. I had it because of the hitting the Latis and other psychic water Pokemon. What are they called? The Slowbro, Slowking, Starmie. Other psychics is good, but those particular ones are good to just take care of quick before they do dangerous stuff like Curse or Calm Mind, that sort of thing. Sludge Bomb normally would be a bad attack, but it does hit grass Pokemon like Ludicolo, which you would otherwise wouldn't be able to hit much, and that Pokemon also does shit like Double Team and Leech Seed. So you get one Sludge Bomb off, it dies. a bunch of other grass Pokemon that are hit super effective. You can easily take care of them. And the high chance for poison does help a lot as well. Sometimes you'll aim for that too against some certain Pokemon, like Blissey, for example, or something, because they're not really going to switch. So that's the point of Sludge Bomb, but Rock Slide is another one. My other Metagross, my original one with worse IVs, that one had Rock Slide as opposed to Shadow Ball. And that one did serve me as well, like when I was getting some of the silver symbols, and I don't remember if I ever got a gold symbol using this guy. Usually, Swampert had its place. But anyway, yeah, and of course Explosion. Metagross has the strongest Explosion too. So if you use that, I mean, I don't really want to use Explosion on Metagross because you want your dude to survive, but sometimes if you know you're going to die and you can't really do much else, just going for the Explosion is the best choice. But you have one less coverage move, that's the problem. And you want to be hitting stuff and get rid of stuff from your opponent while you still have Pokemon left. You don't want to explode. Okay, don't have a choice. He's close to full HP and then you explode. So I don't recommend it, but if you want to use Explosion, it's fine. Like I've said, it isn't the same as, 6 versus 6 standard OU battles, but it will have its use, of course. But those are the moves. Obviously, train this guy for attack, and I would say HP. Don't try the agility build, like trying to use agility, making this guy faster, and then attacking. There is merit to increasing your speed in the Battle Frontier, but I'll talk about that on a different Pokemon, different types of Pokemon actually. Not this guy, because if you use agility, you're not boosting your attack. You're spending a turn to boost your speed, but you're not boosting your attack. It's not like your opponent is going to have a few hurt Pokemon in a 6 versus 6 OU battle, and then you're going to sweep him, sweep his damaged Pokemon with Metagross. With full HP and just 3 coverage moves, you're not going to be doing much. So don't bother with agility, the agility build or something. Okay, so this is Metagross. Highly, highly recommend as well. Although, missing with stuff like Meteor Mash is annoying. Next up, we got Milotic, a water Pokemon. Water Pokemon are obviously going to be good. You want to have one in your team, perhaps, or just have a few trained up, depending on the facility you're going to tackle. Milotic is another good choice. It's a pure water Pokemon, so it's not going to have all the other benefits of Swampert, but it is more, I guess, reliable in the sense that it's less risky. Just weakness to lightning or electric and grass, no quadruple weakness, and because of its extremely high special defense, grass and electric were both special in 3rd gen, it'll usually be able to take at least one of those big hits. Like grass Pokemon, they'll need stab to really hurt you, and electric Pokemon, something very strong like Zapdos or Raikou hitting you with Thunderbolt is gonna hurt, and that's about it. Everything else you can take. It can naturally run Recover, so you can recover your HP. Its moves are very limited. I mean, your most basic build is going to be Recover, Ice Beam, Surf, and then maybe Toxic, perhaps Hypnosis. That's it. I wouldn't risk it with Magic Coat, but you can do something like that. If you want to do a different move like Icy Wind, so you can, I guess, use Icy Wind, decrease their speed, then make another attack. That sort of thing. You could use that. I mean, there's probably a few other moves that it can learn. I guess we could scroll down and look at them and smoke on here. I guess Refresh, yeah. And Confuse Ray or whatever. But the standard moves you're going to want to use is Surf, Ice Beam, and Recover. And I guess the 4th one doesn't matter. Now, it is very reliable, very high stats. 125 special defense with 95 HP is excellent. 79 defense is also very good. You will be able to tank a physical hit too. And for a defensive Pokemon, I guess you could say, it's fast enough. I mean, 81 speed is actually not bad. It can hit hard too, 100 and base special attack. The Surf Ice Beam combination is going to give you good coverage. So highly recommend reliable water Pokemon as well. Okay, and then I guess I'm gonna go to his close counterpart. If you don't want to use Milotic because it's a pain to train and obtain in 3rd gen, there's Vaporeon too. This is a bit easier to acquire, very similar as well. If you do like the stat comparison and stuff, you look at the points wasted in Milotic, or I guess in Vaporeon's attack and what have you. You'll still find out they're kind of even. You'll have Wish, Protect, Ice Beam, and Surf in all probability. That's your moveset. And once again, train in HP, Special Defense, maybe Defense for Vaporeon. But I don't want to get too in depth with why I choose those sort of EVs. But yeah, this is another good pure water Pokemon if you don't want to use Swampert. If you want to go for pure water. Okay? And it has water absorb too, which is fantastic. You know that against some sort of Calm Mind Pokemon, they can't hit you with Surf. So it's very nice as well. It gets that sort of benefit. Milotic has the Marvelous skill ability, which is also good. But I would say probably water absorb is better for the Battle Frontier. Alright. Now let's go up once again. And I think I'm going to get into the really good stuff right now, if I can find it. Okay, so there's the first one, Zapdos. So Zapdos is a legendary Pokemon, not something that you can breed and hatch, but I'm gonna assume if you're serious about getting the gold symbols in Pokemon Emerald, you probably have like a few, like at least 2 Game Boy Advance SPs or 2 Game Boy Advances. I don't know if the micro is compatible with the link cable or whatever, but you have a few of those systems. You have the other advanced games, Fire and Leaf Green, whatever, Ruby and Sapphire. And I would recommend you have like a sort of decoy game for Fire and Leaf Green, where, I mean, if you, unless you did this from the first time, but soft reset legendaries like Zapdos until you get them, you know, with good IVs. Just use the clone glitch in Emerald so you can get like extra Master Balls and stuff, so you don't have to recatch Zapdos over and over again. You don't need perfect IVs. You won't be able to get perfect IVs. Like, even if you breed, it's very difficult. I have Pokemon that are close to perfect IVs without cheating. Like my Swampert is a good example, and I have an Arcanine too, but I didn't use that in the Battle Frontier. But it is possible to get in the superior, what's it called? The message the dude gives you. Superior IVs, like in the 150 range, not 180. And if you get a decent ability, I mean, a lot of abilities would be decent on the Zapdos. Mild, modest, maybe even a defensive ability, so you'll take better hits. Something that boosts the speed. And you know, you want to keep your attack too. That's why I said mild, because you want to have Drill Peck on this Pokemon too. But there's a lot of different natures Zapdos can utilize, not just modest, as some people would think. But yeah, just try and do that soft reset until you get a very good Zapdos. It's going to serve you extremely well in the Battle Frontier. Like, basically, my go-to team was Kingdra, Zapdos, and Swampert, with Metagross really putting in some work for the Battle Tower. But the reason for this is Zapdos is once again one of those legendary Pokemon, 580 total. Electric Flying type combination is amazing. Weak to only Rock and Ice, resisting a lot of stuff. A lot of the Rock type moves are ass. Rock Slide is the most general one you'll probably see. And if non-Rock type Pokemon use that, there's a good chance you're going to survive. 90 HP, 85 defense. You'll survive, you can hit them back with something, and you'll be able to put in some work with Zapdos. And, you know, Ice Beam, okay, if an Ice-type Pokemon hits you, you're probably going to die. But if not, once again, is defensive enough that you'll probably be able to take at least one. It's fast, It's very powerful, 125 special attack, and having a powerful special attacker that can get stabbed from Thunderbolt is is very good in the Battle Frontier. I don't want to say it's a necessity, but it's pretty damn good. You can take care of a lot of Pokemon easily. Milotics, Vaporeons, other water type Pokemon. Suicune is even going to be popping up in the Battle Tower. It happened to me. I took care of it, but then the rest of the Pokemon killed me. But that's a story for a different day. But it's just a very good Pokemon. I don't know what else to say. The moves you're usually going to have are Thunderbolt, Drill Peg as a stab, uh, hit Pokemon like Breloom, which would otherwise resist Thunderbolt, and it's something to hit. I guess Heracross too, but the way that I have my team, I usually use Thunderbolt and Thunder anyway. But yeah, what I did for the most part, my success from the Battle Frontier, using Kingdra with Rain Dance. Kingdra puts in a lot of work on its own, and then by the time it dies, Rain is still going to be up. Zapdos can use Thunder, 120 stab with the Magnet, take care of a lot of Pokemon in one shot. Very, very strong. And in the Rain, of course, Thunder has perfect accuracy, so it goes through double team shit and stuff like that. So served me well. I guess I'm giving you guys my team, but it's fine. I talked about it before. So definitely, if you want to train one legendary Pokemon, Zapdos is the one you want to go for. I guess Raikou is another close Pokemon. It's electric, just mono electric, only weak to ground. But there's a lot more Pokemon that if they hit the dude with Earthquake, he's gonna die even with no stab. But the problem with Raikou and the beasts is that you won't be able to try and RNG your way into getting good IVs. They're stuck. It's programmed in the game for the legendary beasts to always have ass IVs. So you're not going to be able to get it with decent IVs no matter what. Same for Latios and Latias in Ruby and Sapphire. In Emerald, you can get good IVs with Latias or Latios, but in those other games, you can't. So these are just a couple of things to consider. But Zapdos, just really great. Thunderbolt, Drill Peck, Thunder, Hidden Power if you're lucky and have a Hidden Power. That's good. In my, I guess, Battle Frontier career, I soft reset it for two different Zapdoses, the one that got me the most gold symbols. But eventually I got another one, and the other one I was very lucky. It had Hidden Power Ice, so it's great. The first one had Hidden Power Ghost, I think, or something, which wasn't very good. The first one was modest, the second one was mild, but both of them had solid enough IVs, put in the work, and even if it's not perfect, of course it's not fair, you know. Zapdos is in the battle tower and stuff, they're going to have perfect IVs against you, but it is what it is. You can still do it as I did. So that's Zapdos. Very, very good as well. And then I guess since I touched on the Kingdra, let me find it. If I can find it. So Kingdra, to be honest, you might think I'm crazy for saying this, but in my opinion, Kingdra is probably the strongest Pokemon you can use for the Battle Frontier. The most well-rounded Pokemon. If you want to have success, like on its own, it puts in the work. Very reliable, very self-sufficient. You just can't go wrong with Kingdra. And the reason for this is its fantastic Water Dragon typing and the Swift Swim ability. So Water Dragon, it's basically only shared by this guy and Palkia, I believe. Don't know if any Sword and Shield Pokemon got that type in. But it's the best freaking type in at this point in 3rd gen because it only gives you weakness to Dragon, and all Dragon attacks were basically special. So Pokemon like Salamence and Dragonite and I guess Flygon or whatever, they can't really utilize. They gotta use their special attack. Salamence has decent special attack too, good special attack, but you guys get the idea for one. And then the other thing, there just aren't any very good, a lot of good Dragon type moves. The most general Dragon type move you're going to encounter is Dragon Claw. And maybe Dragon Breath, to be honest, and that's it. Outrage, that move is only used by Rayquaza. I think Dragonite learns that too, but if they do that against you, then you're probably going to win. I don't think they do it. I don't remember it happening to me at least, but maybe I'm wrong. But there's just not any very good Dragon type moves. You know, Dragon Claw is only 80 base. Non-Dragon type Pokemon that use it aren't going to get the stab. This guy's going to be able to survive, and that's the point. So it's almost like he has no weakness, you could say. And I guess Sableye doesn't have a weakness, but he sucks in this game. And Water Dragon, I mean, you can do the Ice Beam Surf combo once again. And with Swift Swim, my Kingdra that got me all of the success, I used Rain Dance. Its speed gets doubled. Even if you don't put any EVs in speed, you're going to be like 400 or 380, 90, depending on your IVs on speed. If you have at least some decent 20 and up IVs, it's going to be faster than everybody. And you're even pretty defensive. Like the way I have my Kingdras, I trained two, or no, the third one, whatever. Two. I had to get a second one because I needed to have the Egg move for Dragon Breath. The first one, I just had Hydro Pump, Surf, and Ice Beam, which, yeah, using Hydro Pump, it did help sometimes, but the point is I had to train another one with a Dragon Breath. It's an Egg move. But the thing is, both of them are EV trained in Special Attack and HP. I didn't spend basically anything on speed. And even with that, after you use Rain Dance, you're going to be faster than everybody. So, it's amazing. Even against Pokemon like Aerodactyl and Jolteon and stuff, which they can't really do shit to you anyway. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's one of those water Pokemon that isn't afraid of electric Pokemon. The Dragon typing is fantastic, giving you those nice resistances. And it's just great. And between Dragon Breath, Surf, and Ice Beam, there's nothing that this Pokemon can at least hurt for neutral. And that's why I made sure to put the Dragon Breath move on it, to breed the Dragon Breath move. Because against Pokemon like Lantern and a few other water Pokemon, it would be troublesome. Like I found myself having to switch against Lantern, and then they would get the Confuse Ray on me, and then I would be fucked. And I took a few L's like that, and then I realized I gotta breed another one with Dragon Breath. And it worked out. It's just the best Pokemon, best all-purpose Pokemon in my opinion. It can help you in any facility, and it's not going to be good against some Frontier Brains. Like for example, I had it with me when I played Salon Maiden Annabelle. My team was Metagross, Kingdra, and Zapdos, but I knew that it wasn't going to be that good because against Latios, the Latias, they can hit you with stronger Dragon type moves. They have high special attack. So it's going to hurt. You're probably going to die. And even if you take one, you won't be able to do much against them with Ice Beam. But it's just a phenomenal Pokemon. I don't know what else to say. You can do Dragon Dance shit too. I'm sure they're going to have like the moveset here, like on Smogon. But anyway. Okay, so moving on. Spent enough time. I need to find some other Pokemon. Don't want to forget. Want to mention everybody. Okay, so let's do Arcanine. Arcanine is a Pokemon that I didn't really use, but I think you would find success with it if you use it. It has just a lot of good things about it, and combined, it makes for a good candidate. It has 555 stat total, I believe, so it's one of those, you know, high-level Pokemon. And even though people like to say it sucks in 6 versus 6 in OU and stuff. I mean, it says OU here in Smogon. But in DP and stuff, it kind of... I mean, yeah, it's EUBL, and then it says OU here. But anyway, the point is that you have Intimidate. You'll be able to decrease the attack of physical attacker, so you'll probably be able to take an Earthquake, even with your 80 base defense. 90 HP is solid. And it can hit hard with Overheat, and then you can do stuff like Extreme Speed, which you can naturally learn. You don't even have to bother with egg moves and stuff. So it's nice. Now, besides that, it's not really going to have any other great moves that you can really utilize. It didn't have shit like Close Combat back then. I mean, it's only your fire type move, your extreme speed, and then you gotta use shit like Iron Tail if you want to hit rock types, or Hidden Power, which isn't gonna be reliable. But just the combination of these three things: extreme speed, fire stab, like overheat, and intimidate, its high stats, makes it a decent fire type Pokemon if you want to use him. It's not going to be in the level of something like Metagross or Kingdra and even Zapdos, but I do sort of softly recommend it if you want to train one or if you already have one trained. Flash Fire, that ability, I wouldn't really bother with it because this guy resists fire anyway. I mean, it can come up, but Intimidate is the way to go. It's kind of fast too. I mean, decent defenses, solid offenses, good Pokemon. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about a few of the, I guess, cleaners, you could say, with the best one being Starmie, but I guess I'll mention a few other ones too. So, having fast Pokemon is crucial. If you're not going to have fast Pokemon, you got to have something like Rain Dance, Lumberry, Kingdra, like I have. Because I did die to Venusaur. I had like a 54 streak in the Battle Tower once. My team was Metagross, Tyranitar. I was going to bring Tyranitar too because of Salon Maiden Annabelle. Take care of the Lotties and stuff. But it bit me in the ass. Those slow Pokemon got inflicted. Venusaur used Sleep Powder, and then I basically lost, of course. Used it twice, didn't miss. And then I missed twice with Meteor Mash in a different fight. But anyway, it's good to have fast Pokemon that you can throw like against the Pokemon that's already hurt that killed you, and then Starmie can finish it off. The beauty of Starmie is that it gets insane coverage. It's like the Deoxys of OU, you could say. Between Psychic, Surf, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam, you're hitting something bad. That's the point. It's fast. It's probably going to be faster than all the other Pokemon. 100 base special attack is not the best, but it's not the worst either. You can utilize it. And unlike other, I guess, fast, hard-hitting Pokemon, it'll probably be able to take a hit too. Like, compared to Alakazam, perhaps Gengar can also take a hit, but usually I find that Starmie, at least when I fight against it, it takes a hit at the very least. So that's good. That's something that you want. At least take one hit. You don't want it to die in one shot always. So that's basically the best moves that I recommend. Surf, Psychic, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. And just whatever your opponent throws out, you can hit. You can definitely hurt. It can do stuff like Recover too. And you don't want to do shit like Rapid Spin. This isn't 6 versus 6 OU. But yeah, that's basically it. Very good Pokemon. I never used it, but I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to use it. It's definitely good. I always had Kingdra, and I think that's just more reliable, more consistent. Being Water Psychic too, Starmie, it means that they can hit it with a Shadow Ball tool and kill it, like some normal Pokemon, like Kangaskhan and shit. They can do shit like that. Or, you know, if you get hit by an electric attack or grass attack, you probably won't survive. You know, 85 defenses are good, but the 60 HP kind of fucks it up a bit. I do recommend it though, if you want to have like a fast Pokemon in the third slot. It's definitely good. It has its uses, for sure. I guess other alternatives that I definitely, I mean, I more softly recommend, but there's like a Zam, faster, hits harder, has excellent coverage too. It can use the elemental punches in this game. So you can do Fire Punch too, which is great. Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, and Psychic. It's going to be similar to Starmie, but you know, it's going to have a stronger Psychic attack, but then the other attacks are going to be weaker because, you know, they have lower base. The punches, Ice Punch is worse than Ice Beam, you know, Thunder Punch worse than Thunderbolt, that sort of thing. If you want to have the fire coverage though, I mean, it's gonna be good. You're not gonna have Surf, but it's something. I don't really recommend this guy too much. I mean, I used him in the Battle Tower in Sapphire, to be honest. But over here in the Frontier, it's a different animal. So I'll probably say no, but it's another option. And then, of course, his, I guess, cousin in a way. It's Gengar. Where is it? Where are you, Gengar? God damn. Okay, so Gengar, yeah, similar, slower, weaker special attack, can also do some coverage moves. This guy's probably even worse than Alakazam, to be honest, because it can't get stabbed from its moves. You get the Ghost Poison typing, which is good. But if you're not going to do shit like Destiny Bond or Explosion, you know, you can use Thunderbolt, I guess. Okay, that's better. Um, so I guess I'll put them neck and neck too. It has Levitate too. It will be able to check a lot of Pokemon once you figure out their moves. You know, Gengar could be a good option. Once again, against Blissey and stuff, you know, you can't use Seismic Tox, can't use Toxic. So it does have some uses for sure. But I would say at the end of the day, you're better off just training a Kingdra if you want to succeed. But you can use Gengar or Starmie and Alakazam. Anyway, so now we're going to talk about Tyranitar a little bit. This is another one of the Pokemon that has a quadruple weakness, but it still gets a pass from me. And I was against Tyranitar. I had him in the same boat as Salamence and Dragonite, but then I realized that, you know what, this guy, he can take brick breaks. So the problem with Tyranitar, of course, the only reason I would be against it in the Battle Frontier is the times 4 weakness to fighting. But it's the same sort of philosophy with Swampert. Not very many great fighting type moves. A lot of the fighting Pokemon, well, there's a few fighting Pokemon that are good that are Machamp, but other Pokemon that are going to use Brick Break that don't get stabbed, if you have this guy trained in HP or defense or whatever, he'll be able to take them. I know because it happened to me. There was some instances where I thought, okay, I'm probably going to die, but he actually took those hits well. And as long as you can take at least one Brick Break, then he did his job. Aside from that, to be honest, this guy's fucking amazing. I found out that the Sandstream ability puts in a hell of a lot of work in the Battle Frontier. It's probably the reason why this guy is just considered the strongest ADV Pokemon, besides its expansive move pool and stuff and the stats. Sandstream is phenomenal. It negates your opponent's leftovers, which is huge. They are going to be using that a lot. And it takes care of a lot of the Endure Pokemon like Pinsir and Scyther. A few other Pokemon, what is it called? Even Arcanine does the Endure shit. That stuff is really dangerous. It definitely costs me a lot of times. And if you realize they do that, a lot of the times you really can't do shit. You just kind of have to let them... You're sort of forced to let them do the combo, then they're going to kill you. Unless you do something like use Dragon Breath and paralyze them, or do something like that. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work out, depending on the build they have. Like either Agility or Sword Stance, you know, Lychee Berry or Salac Berry. That's the sort of combination, and then they use Reversal and Flail. Sandstream takes care of that. They're in the red zone. You know, you don't really have a lot of great priority moves in this game. Metagross can't use Bullet Punch, shit like that. Would have been much better if he could. But Sandstream is going to take care of them. So it's amazing. So besides Sandstream, its stats of course are amazing. You don't get Stab Earthquake, which is quite unfortunate. It would have really made this Pokemon a hell of a lot better. But you still get to use strong Earthquakes with a 134 base attack. You get Stab from Rock Slide, which is definitely something good. There's no Stone Age, but you know, Rock Slide is still going to be solid. This guy can use Fire Blast and Flamethrower, take care of Fortress and Scissor as well. Other Pokemon like Skarmory that would normally wall you if they show up. So that's nice. It can even do shit like Ice Beam hit, Salamences, hit other 4 times ice, Pokemon weak to 4 times ice, good shit like that. And it can use Crunch too, hit Latios, Latias. It's not gonna kill them, but at least you can do something. It's just a very versatile Pokemon, Tyranitar. You can do Dragon Dance shit, you can train it in speed even, and even with its weak speed, if you even train it and focus it on speed, it should be quite good. Being able to get the first attack with Tyranitar and then attack again, shit like that, it's very good. So I do sort of recommend it. Um, I mean, it is gonna sometimes bite you in the ass, the 4 times weakness, and just in general, being a rock type Pokemon, it's gonna be weak to Earthquake, it's gonna be weak to Surf, some bug type moves even too. I mean, it does have weaknesses, but there's a lot of good for Tyranitar too. So when it comes to Pokemon weak to having 4 time weaknesses, it also gets my sort of recommendation with Swampert. Not as good as Swampert, probably, but it also gets my recommendation. Uh, I don't recommend stuff like Salamence, though. And that's why I sort of give special mention to Tyranitar. Salamence is actually my favorite Pokemon, so don't get the idea. I'm not hating on Salamence, but weak to ice, I mean, you could use it. It can probably aid you a lot, Salamence, if you can protect it from Ice Beam. But there's just sort of so many Pokemon that can throw Ice Beam out of nowhere, and you're more than likely going to die. There's no Yachi Berry shit you can do. 80 special defense with 95 HP, you won't be able to take it. And especially because you probably have this guy trained to sacrifice the special defense. Like use a nature like Naive or Rash or whatever, or Naughty. Because if you're going to use this guy, you definitely want to make use of his special attack too. You don't want to sacrifice special attack. You don't want to sacrifice speed. You definitely don't want to sacrifice the attack. So you're going to have to sacrifice special defense. I mean, if you do defense, you got Intimidate, but then that sort of fucks you up in a different way. So it's just a very risky Pokemon against Ice Beam. So I can't really recommend it. Same with Dragonite too. And Flygon. Just too easy to kill. Alright. And is there any other Pokemon that I haven't mentioned? I guess other Pokemon like Aerodactyl can be nice. Fast. Earthquake, Rock Slide. Can use Aerial Ace too. Never gonna miss. Breloom is very risky, but it's one of those Pokemon that can do Spore. So if you train it in speed, you can do Spore, but a lot of Pokemon in the Battle Frontier do have the Chesto Berry, Lumberry shit. So it's a risky Pokemon for sure. I can't say I really recommend Breloom. It can work out. Gyarados is another one of those Pokemon that is 4 times weak to Electric. I would recommend it over maybe Salamence because not everything is carrying Thunderbolt, and without Stab, it might even take it. Same with Tyranitar. The problem with Gyarados is that he doesn't really have a lot of good moves. Like, okay, you're going to do Dragon Dance shit, maybe with Earthquake, and what else? Like, I think it learns Rock Slide, I think, or not even, actually. Hidden Power Rock here, it says. Yeah, you can't really do much. You gotta use shit like Double Edge. You can do like a water move, but that's stupid. Um, yeah, that's the problem. It's just gonna be walled by Pokemon. Unless you use bad moves like Double Edge or Hyper Beam and shit. It's yeah, and the 4 times weakness to Electric. There's better water Pokemon, more reliable water Pokemon. I've already talked about them, but it is an option, I suppose. Snorlax. I guess talk a little bit about some normal type Pokemon. Snorlax is phenomenal, but very risky. Like when your opponent is going to be throwing out Snorlax, you're going to be shitting your pants because this guy is extremely dangerous with Curse. But when you use it, you got to remember, you're going to use it for like 50 plus matches. If you're going to use it in the battle tower too, like 50 plus, you got to go to 70 to fight Annabelle. You know, you're going to be doing the curse shit, or I don't know, like you can even do like amnesia shit, but you're going to use curse shit if you use this Pokemon. They're going to get the critical hit on you. That's the thing. So he's also slow. He's going to fall prey to Spore. He can also fall prey to one hit KO moves. That's another thing you got to keep in mind. Things like Horn Drill and Fissure and stuff. You know, at least some of the other Pokemon like Zapdos is going to be immune to Fissure. And if you're fast, at least you can get a hit on them if they're going to do that shit. So this guy's so slow, you know, he'll be able to get like fissured even by Pokemon like Whiscash. So, gotta keep this shit in mind. He is definitely one of the strongest normal type Pokemon, if not the strongest to use. But there's a lot of risk to it if you're gonna use it, because you need to get a lot of wins straight, of course. A better Pokemon, I think, would be Kangaskhan or Tauros, if I can find them, if you want to use a normal type. Because they're more reliable, they're faster, they can do a lot of the same shit too. Maybe even Ursaring has high attack. So, yeah. Steelix is another nice one if you want to use a steel type that's not Metagross, but Metagross is definitely the best. Okay. And then I guess to finish things off, a few other Pokemon. Alternatives to Kingdra. Ludicolo is a great one, water grass typing. Amazing. Both abilities benefiting in the rain. You can do the Swift Swim shit and have some different coverage. Being able to use Ice Beam Surf and then a grass type move. That's pretty nice too. The bulky water types that would wall you, you can hit them with Giga Drain, which is great. It can even do shit like Thunder Punch too. So I think at least it can do that. But I'm pretty sure it can. So that's nice. Nice special defense. Water grass typing is great. You can do other shit too. Leech Seed, I wouldn't recommend, but this is stuff that you could do if you wanted to. So an alternative to Kingdra for sure. It's the only other good Swift Swim Pokemon I would recommend. Other things like Kabutops and Almost are just too risky. Lapras, another amazing Pokemon that you can use. Water Ice. This one is going to be good for the Battle Pike. It's not going to be good against Lucy's final Pokemon. Only against Steelix and maybe Seviper. But because it's Ice, it'll be able to bypass the Ice status in the Battle Pike, which is the number one thing that's probably going to fuck you up. And I guess I can't forget about the Regis too. If you're going to soft reset for some other legendaries, the Regis are also great choices. The best one is probably Regice. 200 in special defense is going to be able to take those flamethrowers, no problem. Can explode. Electric, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam combination, stab. Puts in so much work. Can also use Explosion. Is the best one, but Regirock and Registeel are also very good. Registeel is the most reliable, being Steel type. Not a lot of weaknesses, but I mean at this point, yeah, Regice is better because what the fuck kind of Steel types moves? You know, they're gonna hit you, not much. Fire, you don't care about fire. Rock, once again, there's only a few. Just Rock Slide is the only good rock type move in this game, basically. And basically that's it. I mean, fighting type moves, once again, Brick Break. What else is somebody gonna do to you? Maybe Sky Uppercut, that's it. But I mean, once you get into the high tiers, you're not going to worry about stuff like that too much. You're going to be worried about Latios and Entei and shit. Those types of Pokemon. Which is, you know, Regice is going to be good against, you know. Regirock and Registeel, once again, not as good as Regice probably, but quite good. Regirock can also make use of Earthquake. which is nice. Rock Slide, stronger explosion. Not going to care about physical attacks. The great thing about this guy is that even though he's weak to Earthquake, he'll probably be able to take 2 from most Pokemon if you have him trained for defense and stuff. So he's not going to care. And then Registeel, you're not going to be able to hurt dudes with this guy, but because he's steel, he's going to be reliable. I would say, though, he is the weakest out of the 2 because having 115 each means that Earthquake is going to hurt more, Flamethrower is going to hurt more, even though you're a bit more versatile defensively. If you get hit, it's going to hurt more. So don't recommend this guy as much, but is another option. And then the last Pokemon, I guess, throw in Sceptile, another fast grass Pokemon, but very risky. Attack is too low, and his best moves are physical attacks. Like he can learn Earthquake, he can learn a bunch of other shit. I don't remember. I guess we can go down. Yeah, he does learn a lot of moves, to be honest, but doesn't really have the offenses to make use of them. I guess he can do Thunder Punch. Forgot about that. With Grass, be a little decent mixed attacker that's fast. But you're probably better off using Starmie, to be perfectly honest. He's not going to take a hit defensively either, too, which sucks. Oh my god. Shit. I think there's a few other Pokemon that I haven't mentioned, but I think you guys get the idea. The best ones. A lot of the other Pokemon, they're going to be bad against you on their own, but if you use them, trying to get long streaks with them is not going to be as effective. I don't recommend slow Pokemon with a lot of weaknesses. You know, Blaziken, for example. You know, there's Camerupt over there. Things like Cradily looks sweet on paper, but they're just going to get a critical hit on you because you can't really do a lot of damage trying to stall them out. They're going to kill you. Maybe the same thing with Dusclops. You know, Espeon can be nice with Calm Mind, but it doesn't have a lot of good coverage, once again. For Alligator, you know, could be okay, but you're better off using the other water types that I mentioned. Machamp, it's pretty risky, I'm not gonna lie, but I guess you could try it. Has too many moves that are just gonna potentially miss. I guess if you do Earthquake, you want to use Brick Break, that can be nice. Rock Slide, yeah, I've already talked about Raikou and shit. Same with Suicune, you won't be able to farm for IVs for that guy. Slacking, I guess I should mention Slacking too. I did use this in the Frontier too. This guy, he's gonna be amazing because you can do Hyper Beam and everything dies if you don't miss. If you miss, you're gonna die. But the thing is with this guy is even though he has the Truant ability, he's fucking strong. The problem is that if they have Protect, you just basically went with 2 Pokemon. So I wouldn't recommend him because it's risky like that. A lot of Pokemon do use Protect sometimes. They'll surprise you. So I don't recommend it. Like there was a Suicune that had Protect, if I remember right, when I fought against it. So you don't want this shit for sure. But I mean, I guess you could risk it if you want to. Typhlosion, too risky. You don't want Pokemon that are gonna die in one shot. You want them to take at least one hit. Scissor, too risky with the 2 times weakness to fire. Not fast either. You can do shit like Armaldo and put like a Quick Claw, but that's also pretty risky. Armaldo is like a shittier Tyranitar, but that doesn't have the times 2 weakness to fighting. You know, his Rock Bug typing, it means that they won't really be able to is not going to have as many weaknesses, but he doesn't have resistances either. And he's going to die to Surf. Tyranitar is going to take a Surf at least. So very risky once again. Plus, not as good. Doesn't have as many good moves. So I think that about covers it. Charizard, too risky. Crobat could be good, but doesn't hit too hard. Donphan, too risky. Die to Surf. So yeah. So these are the Pokemon that I recommend. I went all over the place. This is an extremely long ass video, but I hope you guys did get some useful insight and sort of got to peek on my brain a little bit of how I thought and how I did get a lot of the goat symbols. All of these little things do matter. You know, like I mentioned in the general guide video, you want to decrease your luck. You don't want to leave yourself up with too many weaknesses because luck is going to be against you. You're going to have luck against you anyway, trying to get 50 plus win streaks. So you want to mitigate all of your weaknesses as much as possible. Use just the most reliable, the most consistent Pokemon, you know, that are just all purpose, can put in a lot of work and make a good game out of anything, like Kingdra almost. So that's the point. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel for mostly Pokemon TCG stuff. I'm also doing a Bloodborne walkthrough though too. Yeah, subscribe, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What a